Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan B. Butler. This is a weird one. This is an episode not so much about a home video item, as the items you might get when you buy a Star Wars home video item. We're going to be talking about some pre-order or purchase bonuses here, some retailer incentive exclusive things that I've recently added to my collection, most of which I know where they come from, some of which I don't. So to some degree, there'll be a little bit of crowdsourcing here. Hey, where did this thing come from? And that sort of thing. But I want to give you a chance to see these things because I have added them to my collection. They will be showing up eventually as part of the discussion in that book that I'm in the process of writing at this point. I'm at about 72,000 words, about 250-ish pages, about 300 pictures, give or take. So that's still in process here. But in picking these up, I was like, whoa, there's some pre-order bonuses I didn't realize existed. I need to snatch those up. So I grabbed the ones that I could. Now I'm like, I think I know where these come from. What about this one? What about that one? And I'm hoping that fellow collectors out there who are interested in this sort of thing might be able to assist in that. So some I'll be able to tell you where they come from, some not, but we can take a look at all of them here. Now, when we looked back at Revenge of the Sith back in 2005, one of the things that we looked at very early on was that, yes, if you bought it at Walmart, you could get The Story of Star Wars, a bonus DVD that came with it, which actually has the story of Anakin Skywalker and the story of Luke Skywalker, the first 2 of 3 discs worth of content from the PVD releases on the Video Now system, basically from Tiger Electronics through Hasbro, Tiger being a subsidiary of Hasbro at the time. And we also saw relatively recently here on the show that if you bought Revenge of the Sith at Target, you could get that Target exclusive coin, a limited edition coin just for those who purchased there. Well, if you went to Best Buy, and this is new to me, if you went to Best Buy and you were a Reward Zone member, okay, which is their little club thing, if you're a Reward Zone member at Best Buy and bought either Revenge of the Sith or Battlefront 2, the video game that came out around the same time, there was a lithograph you could pick up. That is this. There's Best Buy up there in the corner, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith with the 3 behind it. The saga is complete. Free collectible lithograph to Reward Zone members with purchase of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith or Star Wars Battlefront 2 the video game. So there's your front. Back there. Says the same thing up here, except if you flip it over, you're looking at a Battlefront 2 setup here. Battles continue, Best Buy logo, but this is where the UPC is, so of course this is supposed to be the front here. Not really much of an edge or anything. It's not like there's a spine here. Once you open it up, woo, got nothing over here, but then there is your lithograph. Darth Vader face, very orange and black, very Mustafarian, not Rastafarian, no weed, Mustafarian, and then you got your logo down there in the corner. Okay, so a coin, a bonus DVD, or this, so at least 3 different possible pre-order bonuses in 2005, or purchase bonuses in 2005 if you had bought Revenge of the Sith. Let's jump ahead 6 years to 2011. You may recall when we looked at the complete saga, I believe that I showed you the pre-order bonus that I got from pre-ordering that through Best Buy. And that was this. You see a little postcard-sized thing with some info on the back. But what it is up here in the corner is a film cell. Mine happens to be from the battle on Mustafar there. It's a film cell from a Star Wars film in here, and you would purchase it. You basically go in and you do your pre-order and get this immediately, put a little bit of money down, and then eventually you would come back and pay the rest of the money, if you hadn't already, and then pick up your actual item. But this was something you would get pretty much immediately there. But we looked at that before, I believe. Well, you might have pre-ordered your Complete Saga or pre-ordered your Complete Saga Era 2011 Star Wars Blu-rays while you were at San Diego Comic-Con in 2011. You had done that. It's not going to be a whole lot of people, I would assume. You would get this. It's Comic-Con 2011 up at the top. Look at San Diego. Star Wars, the Complete Saga, a little Blu-ray symbol here. What's interesting here is that this is a limited edition numbered item, numbered by hand with silver marker, apparently. This is number 172 out of course, 1138, 1138, or 1138, however you want to say it. That's a typical Lucasfilm number from his earlier film and so forth that shows up all the time in Star Wars. And you might say, well, that art looks kind of familiar, but what is it? Basically, if you were to buy just the trilogy sets in 2011, their inserts have either Anakin or Luke, and this is what the front of that insert looks like. So they've taken the art from those two, combined them together, and made this print for Comic-Con. Now, if you were to purchase instead at Target, you could get this. Its envelope here says, 8 limited edition collectible lithographs, Star Wars, The Complete Saga. Has the various images there. Nothing there on the back, just like there's nothing on the back of the other Complete Saga thing. I actually kept the original Target sticker here this time. It says, exclusive limited edition, free with purchase of Star Wars The Complete Saga on Blu-ray, offer valid while supplies last. What's inside here are 8 little tiny lithographs, or relatively tiny here, about the size of the envelope, but they should look familiar. There's 1, 2, whoa, missed one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I say, I know those! Right. That is the cover art for the 2011 Complete Saga box set, and the art that you'll find on each individual 2-page spread for each film as you flip through, plus one of the images in the back on one of the other pages here. So it's essentially they took the same artwork that's actually in the package that really wasn't available elsewhere and turned it into art prints here, lithographs, that you could have, frame, or whatever as a free bonus if you bought it at Target. Now we're getting to where we might need to crowdsource a little bit. 2006, right? The limited edition 2-disc versions in full screen or widescreen of the original trilogy with that same old disc that we've seen, just with an updated label with slightly different colored text and an FBI warning on it. The same ones content-wise that we've seen since 2004. But then a second disc that included the so-called unaltered version of each film on DVD for the first time. We've already looked at how if you went to Walmart, you could buy each film separately. They were always separately except at Best Buy. Buy each film separately, and you would wind up possibly getting the version that had the comic book with it. Or, if you were to go to Best Buy, you could buy all 3 films, widescreen versions of the films, and you would get a collector's tin that would essentially turn it into the only box set that exists for that year's releases. Now, we've also looked at the idea that there were these little concept art postcard-sized things inserted into some packages. I showed you The Empire Strikes Back as the example of one that I have. Now, I've had people telling me that was from Blockbuster. I've relatively recently come across a buying guide from a forum from back in 2006, a post that's still active from 2006, that actually laid out what to expect when you went to buy the films in 2006, and that's saying that it was Target that had the concept art little mini poster things with the packaging. So unless there's some other concept art thing that was out there in 2006, it may not have been Blockbuster. Maybe it was Target that actually had that. I don't know. Again, crowdsourcing here. If you bought a copy of the films, and when you opened it up, it had an exclusive little postcard-sized little concept art piece like we looked at recently here on the show, where did you buy it? Blockbuster? Target? Mine's from eBay, so there's no way for me to know. I find it odd that there wasn't a little red and white Target sticker on it, because when I bought mine for The Empire Strikes Back, it was still in its original shrink wrap. I actually opened it on the show. So Target seems like a weird option for it to actually have been without that sticker on it. But it was 2006, right? So we're talking over 10 years ago. So maybe they just weren't using a similar sticker style at that point, like they were in, say, 2011 even, like we just saw with the Complete Saga set. Blockbuster, where the heck was it? Curious about that myself. I've also, though, recently acquired 3 other items, all lithographs, that are also bonuses from 2006 if you had bought the original trilogy films. And from what I can tell from that buying guide that I found, it looks like all of these came from the now-defunct chain of Circuit City. Again, if you got these from somewhere else, let me know, but I believe all are coming from Circuit City. And that is a set of these big lithographs. Star Wars Limited Edition Collectible Lithograph. back, Millennium Falcon, Death Star, kind of cool, funky, like 1970s artwork like you'd see on a t-shirt or something. You open it up, and it's huge! Nothing on the one side, but then there is essentially the package art for the back of A New Hope's DVD release from 2006, which of course is classic poster art there, which is done up as a lithograph. Then you also have lithographs for The Empire Strikes Back. Again, similar design, Vader on the back this time. Open it up. There's your art. Nice and glossy. And for Return of the Jedi. That old poster art on the back where Luke and Vader have the wrong lightsaber colors, of course. And then there's your interior with the lithograph itself. These, by the way, when you're looking at them, this piece here is actually a separate piece of cardboard. The art itself has the logo on the bottom, but when you slide it in, it winds up right behind the logo that's built into the packaging here that looks a little nicer in my opinion. So yet another way to get some pre-order bonuses back in 2006. And then we've got one that strikes me as odd. Told it's a pre-order bonus. Told that they think it came from Blockbuster. I'm sitting here thinking, is this really a pre-order bonus? Or what I'm seeing possibly part of a display that was set up maybe at Blockbuster? Because this goes all the way back to 1997. Right? Going back, oh my god, this is going to make me feel old, but 1997 was 20 years ago now. Whew. I graduated high school in 98, my god. I'm not sure what to make of this. Yeah, I'm told it counts technically as some type of lithograph-ish thing, and it was a pre-order bonus, probably from Blockbuster. But I don't know, I'm not sure I'm buying that yet, so this is where the crowdsourcing will definitely come in. It's this. It's essentially just straight cardboard, but so are so many of these lithograph things when we get them. And all that it really is here is a black background with the cases, not just the artwork from them, but the cases themselves, the case designs, for all three of the full screen, hence gold instead of silver there, all three of the full screen original trilogy films from their special edition VHS release in 1997. Yeah, not quite sure what to make of this. You go down to the corner, all it says is Lucasfilm, 20th Century Fox Entertainment. It has the copyright stuff. There's nothing on here to indicate where it's from. It makes me think maybe what this is a piece of a display that maybe had these showing and it just was a piece that slipped in and somebody was just given this and were like, wow, this is so cool, and thought it was a pre-order bonus? I have no idea. So, if you happen to know what this is, let me know. I can't tell you. I'm not going to say this is a retailer exclusive bonus of any kind until I know for sure. But that's what it's being claimed, at least, to be. The key here, I guess, is anytime a new Star Wars release comes out, always shop around. Look around. Nowadays, most of the places that you could buy something physically, in person, you could buy from their online version, whether it's Walmart, Target, whatever. But you also have some online retailers like, say, Amazon that don't have a storefront you're going to go to buy things, but they may still have some pre-order bonuses there as well. So always shop around, figure out what the best pre-order bonuses are, what the most interesting ones are, or the ones that you think are the most collectible, and make that, hopefully, where you purchase. Unfortunately, these days, it's not just about price. A lot of times, the perception of value is about what am I getting for my money, not just in the item that everybody has, but in whatever the little exclusive trinket is. Lithograph, coin, comic book, bonus DVD, whatever. And unfortunately, as we saw with The Force Awakens, though thankfully not as much with the 3D Collector's Edition, it seems like this is a pattern that is unfortunately here to stay. So we're going to have to be conscious consumers here, going out there, looking out for our own best interests and what we want for our actual collections every time a new Star Wars film comes out. I look forward to, with both dread and anticipation, at going through that whole process once again, probably about 3 or 4 months from now, for Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. But we'll see. With that, though, we'll wrap up this episode. Again, if you have some thoughts, if you have some information that could help us suss out what certain things are, I'd certainly appreciate it. Just drop it into the comments. I'll be sure to check that out. Thank you all for watching as always. May the Force be with the home video viewers.